I'm not sure about you guys, but the miners to me are doing really well. Now, the market bounced here, you can see off this prior resistance support. So in the end, the market had a bit of a green day today, but the miners are always outperforming the markets on the way up or on the way down. So the miners did better than the markets today. That's with the metals being red. When the metals are green, like recently we had that day where gold was unchanged, but silver was up 2%. 2% is okay, but it's good to see silver up 2%, I guess. But the miners are up huge, so we're getting to a point where on the way down, we're okay. We go down a little bit red, but the markets are getting crushed. Stocks down like 8%, like Nvidia, Tesla just destroyed, Nasdaq down almost 3%. And the miners are down like 1.5, nothing special. So that's good to see on down days. On up days, we're doing better. Like today, we did better. If the market goes up a lot, which we haven't seen since the drop, we definitely outperform. That's with the metals red. You could even have the metals red. We're still up like today. Today the metals were red and the miners were up like 1.5%, almost 2%. So it's like no matter the scenario, at the moment, the miners are doing really, really well. We're gonna take a look, obviously, but I feel like if the market bounces, and it could from here, it could go up a little bit, back to 590, let's say S&P, or just back to 585 and then fail. But any sort of move up, you could have the miners make new highs. We'll take a look. And if the metals break out, which is maybe even more likely, then that should also help us. So we're kind of good. All right, S&P, we bounced here. Like I just said, we could just go up to 585, a bit higher. We'll see. It was a decent day. Like it's kind of a reversal candle closing the high of day. It's the same with all of them. I don't usually go through all the different markets. Dow Jones just bounced because the S&P bounced. The Russell's weaker, so it's a weaker bounce, and it's gone lower, etc., etc. It's been a long time since I looked at the banking stocks, but they're always weaker on down days. Let's go straight to actually let's check out yields. Got to respect yields up. Okay, so people dumping bonds, I guess, as the market goes up. It's got its own local resistance, so I'd be tempted to think it goes a little higher, maybe up here, 4.7 on the 30, then it goes down. The 10-year maybe up here, prior support 4.4, right? Something like that. You also have your descending. Not going to look at it too much here, but you can see you go a little higher, maybe even higher than that. I don't think we'll get there. The 2-year, interesting. Could go a little higher here. Okay, the dollar, which has been absolutely obliterated recently. Yeah, look at that. Hit the next level perfectly, actually. I mean, yeah. So dollar went down even more. So even though we had an update, it still went down. Jesus. That's gonna bounce now though. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna go lower than that because that's just, you're not allowed to go that that much low. It's like almost illegal. So I reckon it'll hold this area, maybe reverse, who knows, go up here, but we'll see. News, tariffs will come into play there, but that's got to bounce no matter what the news is now. That's too much. But it doesn't really affect the metals. I wonder if a bounce in the dollar will affect the metals. It could even go up with the dollar. Who knows? All right, let's check out gold and silver. So gold was a nothing day. All right, it's just irrelevant, unchanged, kind of like the last couple of days. But we've bounced from the drop. All right, so we definitely outperformed the market because the market's only bounced now. We're just holding, and this is fine with me because the miners are up. Silver's done well. And to be honest, gold's just gone up non-stop for just months. So actually, my favorite scenario is the gold and silver go down and the miners go up. But realistically, it's probably best if we just hold this sort of bull flag and then break out. And I think we're going to do it. We're going to just break out and hit 3,000 and run, or at least hit 3,000, then come back down. But we're going to go for 3,000. So for me, it's a nothing day, but it's still fine. It doesn't change the thesis at all. Silver's the one that really is interesting. So it also was, I don't want to call it a nothing day because we bounced from the lows. That was good. And actually, to be honest, they were both low at the beginning of the day, gold and silver, but they bounced nicely. So here you can see we've like got a similar pattern to gold the last 2 days at least. I'm looking for like, this is getting really tight, this little wedge too, huh? You can see there's going to be a decision time. For me, all of these are correct. All of these lines are perfect. I could even add a little one here, but we don't really need to overdo it, but I'll overdo it. So sideways, a little break. To be honest, as soon as you break out here, it's kind of obvious you're gonna keep going. But let's see if we can take out this little level here, right? This 3 point, this descending 33, a close above 33 is kind of all you need to take home from this chart. Close above 33 and we go. And that is what I want it to go up now. No more sideways down or, oh, if silver goes down, but the miners go up. I just want silver to go up now. Enough of the gains. We're really well set. A lot of these miners are moving. We had some earnings like Fortuna was it yesterday. Just some of them are really primed to go. And then if silver disappoints, then some miners, some charts that are really they'll be damaged, and then it takes like weeks to repair the chart, and it's just a bit annoying. So 33 closed, then we run on the way down. Well, I would not really be bearish until we close below this ascending, especially 31. That's when you're like, ah, shit, now we're gonna go down here or something. But for me, for now, gold and silver look good, especially knowing how they're reacting with the markets. They're outperforming. We're back up here. That's the highs of the last couple of months, right? Gold, same thing. Just zoom out, like shake your head. Where are we? We're all the way up here. You wouldn't think the markets come down. The markets come down a lot. Miners, you know what? Let me start with GDX. And this is the most, and for me, miners are outperforming metals, silver's outperforming gold. It's all bullish stuff. GDX, we made a new high today, right? Okay, we closed here, but it's a pretty decent close. I mean, it's okay close. But we were at new highs at some point, we were higher than all the way over here. So that's very bullish. You wouldn't expect that we've come down. The S&P is here, right? It's having this candle. And normally the miners go up with the markets. If the S&P does this kind of a bounce, 2 3 day bounce, we're gonna be up here, 44, right? And that's without gold even breaking out necessarily. It could just even be red a little bit. So the miners are definitely outperforming. And and yeah, so the resistance remains here. To be honest, it's the same thing now. You could just do middle of the road, 42.50. You know what I mean? You close above 42.50, you're going to go up there. What kind of a move do we need from 42.50 to there? 3%. That's just another good day. So 42.50 on the way up, on the way down. Yeah, you could say basically here. I don't want to really get too tight, but yeah, between 42.50 and all the way down here. But I reckon we're going to break out higher. I really do, just because we're looking for an excuse to go up. If the metals are up, we're going to be up. If the market is up, we're going to be up. If the market's down, maybe the metals are up, so we'll go sideways. If they're both down, the miners will go down, but not as much as the markets. So it's really nice. I really like to see it. SIL, also quite good. Yeah. Again, new high, new sort of local high. Obviously, if silver runs, this will go straight up here. But if you ignore this candle, it was just at the open. The high has basically been where we touched today, right? It's been there. So yeah, and that's your support, and that's your next support. It remains correct and remains bullish, new high, just like everything else. GDXJ, same sort of thing. But it's good to see GDXJ just as strong as GDX. It's also testing, you could say even stronger. Look at its high. It went really all the way up here where it was the high before. And I think that actually beats GDX. So any move up in silver or the markets, we're gonna run probably up here, go to 54 and then 55.5. And what kind of a move is that from this range? Max 5%. That's one extremely strong day. That's doable. What if gold runs to 3,000? That's done straight away. What if silver hits like 33 or starts to go from 33 to 35? We're gonna make new 52-week highs real fast. And again, the S&P's down here. We're already like, honestly, proportionally speaking, the S&P is like here from its bounce today. We're already almost 8%, outperforming. SILJ, I mean, this has been weak for ages, but again, at least we made a new high compared to the last couple of days. You could go on, let's just say it's that. All right, that'll be your local resistance for now. And yeah, and honestly, SILJ is very capable of making a strong move. If silver starts to run, it's just going to be like all bets off. We're just running. So next stop will be up here, 1220, and then we'll see it. But that's got a massive, and I like that. I like that it's got a long way to go. A long way to go. So and we'll take a look at the silver stocks, at least the ones I'm in. So the point is, we are outperforming the markets, we are outperforming the metals, but the metals have a very good chart pattern ready to run. Yes, the metals can go down with the markets if there's like a big sell-off or something, but we won't be going down as much as everything else. And we're forced to go down a little bit, 1%, but the bounce will be very, very strong. We're looking for an excuse to go up. Let's look at the portfolio. Newmont, wow, that's a bit of a, I didn't even realize that actually. So we closed just below resistance, but we're making our intentions pretty clear there. 45. Is that a real candle? Yes, it is, I think. Yeah, I didn't even know that. I should have had a sell. I don't think I sold. That's why you always have your good till cancel sells in. Well, anyway, that was obviously correct resistance and support. It's very obvious. 45. Um, yeah, so otherwise we're stuck down here, but okay, a move up, it'll go right back up. So 45 is your resistance. After that, it's going to be all the way up here, 48. Pretty obvious stuff. And on the way down, it's going to be this sort of area here. Let's call it 41.20. Um, yeah, that's it. That's it. It's a bit of an annoying candle though. That kind of, I don't want to say that makes the resistance stronger, but it's, yeah, 45 is definitely resistance now. Anyway, if we move up, if the miners move up, Newmont, especially Newmont, just has to go up. So that's pretty good. Barrick Gold, that's good. I prefer that chart actually. You can see how close we were to testing the old highs around 19. A nice close above resistance. So you can see that also beats Newmont. And also we've got good news recently. I think this is just gonna close above 19 and run towards and straight past 20 actually. So I think this remains correct and very, very strong. Support, no point in looking at support for now. Agnico Eagle, okay, the descending is now null and void. Made a new high, not a new close, like a new high close compared to the last 2 days. That one beats it, but still, new high. If gold runs, we're just going to close above 101. And that's it. 100 is resistance, but very flimsy resistance. It's really 101. This thing will just close and run. That's what's going to happen. It's just going to make new highs and run. You know the stock. Look how strong the support. I mean, even on this market correction, it didn't even go back to test this level here. Like this is not your support. It's just so strong and for good reason, right? All in sustaining cost, just the best miner on the planet. So this one, it's always the same thing. It's just new highs. Pan America, that's good, especially since we know the SIL chart, which is nowhere near as strong as Pan America. Pan America is going to be the same as Agnico Eagle. If gold and silver run, not even run, just walk up a little bit, or the miners just make a nice new move. Straight away, we close above 26 and we run to 30, right? It's time to zoom out of Pan America. Like, this is very obvious stuff. Close above 26 in a few trading days and basically run. 29, there might be a bit of resistance also. But basically, it's 30. I see something there at 29. Look at all these highs here. Plus, people are going to get too focused on 30 and it'll probably sell off just before. Not sell off, but just retrace a bit. Yeah, Pan America, absolutely brilliant. Okay, next one is Wheaton, another a new all-time high, not on a closing basis, but then again, that's really impressive. This is just like a Agnico Eagle. Same thing, copy paste. It's just gonna close above 71, maybe Monday, Tuesday, and then it just runs. And I don't know where it goes. You can do your Fibonacci stuff and then copy that and see where it goes. But for me, it's just gonna run to follow GDX. And even there, sometimes it's up when GDX is down. You could very often see Wheaton up like 1% when the GDX is down 1%. It's just long term, this is just going up. That's the mathematical equation behind the stock price, I reckon. It's just very, very, very strong business, just like Agnico. So very nice. Franco Nevada. That's good. This okay, so this here, this is resistance. I did trim around here. I think I trimmed around 145.5 or something, but you can see why, right? This horizontal resistance, it's there, that exists for sure, but this descending is very, very significant. That's longer term, and I don't need this double line, but yeah, look, they are triangulating here. So once we can close above, for me, in case I got this wrong by a few millimeters, for me, 148 is like, okay, no matter if I drew it wrong, it's now probably cleared the resistance. But why not make it 150? Because of the big number. And also because you've got this resistance here. Look, it's a bit higher than 148, isn't it? It's like 149. So 150 is like clear skies to 160. But I think it's going to do it. Like everything else, the miners go up, it'll just cut through it. There'll be a little moment of resistance, and then bam, we're through it. It'll be obvious. A big candle will go up, and then the rest is history. So Franco Nevada, extremely strong recently, last couple of weeks, and I think it'll continue. So that looks really good. Metalla is just maybe my worst stock at the moment. The resistance here is it's the ascending resistance. I thought it was going to be support. It was for one day, and then we just went lower, and now it's resistance. You can kind of see how it's resistance. Look at that horrible candle today compared to the others. It just stands out, down almost 2%, close at low of day. It just needs time, I think. I don't see why it should go lower. Yeah, if the miners go down for whatever reason, like the market's going down, and we just have to go down with the markets a little bit. Obviously, like I said, we're going to outperform, but Metal is one of the prime candidates to just be weak. So here's support counts, 2.5 is support. Obviously, the last support around 2.65 is your first level, and we're going to hit that on any sort of down day because of today's candle. But yeah, the next one is 2.5, and then it's going to be 2.3. It's horrible. This one, I'm just ready to hold it because I still think we get to 3,000. I think Metalla, no matter what happened to the stock, at 3,000, we're going to be above 3 and probably going to 3.2. But this is where I'll be trimming. 3.2, 3.4, I'm looking to be out like half, half. And the rest, if some miracle happens and we go back up here. To be honest, long term, 1.5 years from now, we're probably up way higher. But I just don't like the weakness, and I just need to cut the position because it's a liability. It's ruining. I mean, let's just say the money that I have in Metalla, if it was another stock like Equinox, like even Mag Silver, just any of them, especially Agnico, but I would make more or I would lose less. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Like even if Metalla ends up higher in a few months, the other stocks will have made more money had I put that money there. So that's what I want to do. I'm still going to sell on an up move. Definitely not selling here, but when we start to move up, I'm already going to have good till cancels in there to sell. But yeah, not great. There's your support resistance. I'm not even talking about resistance for now. Um, I'll leave this one in because it might still be useful. But first resistance for me is 3.2, 3.4. But there's also the ascending. All right, next, let's go to the silver stocks. They're starting to look a little better. First Majestic. So that's cleared like 5.8. I saw as a very weak first resistance. We've kind of cleared that. New high close, right? Not many have done that. Some of them popped their heads up. This one had a new close compared to the last couple of days. That's something, I think that's worth something. $6 is your resistance now. So from 5.8 to 6, and from 6 to 6.2, it's 20-cent increments. Yeah, any up move, we go to 6.2. And you know what? I'm pretty happy we're here because if you look at gold and silver compared to where we've been the last 2, 3 weeks, we haven't really moved, but First Majestic has. First Majestic has gone from being weak to being strong. I mean, you know, if you really zoom in. So First Majestic has now repaired its chart, and the good news is that gold, silver, and the miners look good now. So this is one of the ones that I'm talking about when I say it would be a shame if silver or the miners, started to get weak because First Majestic is primed for a move up to 6.8. We close above 6, close above 6.2, we go to 6.8. And if silver's going to run, if silver does its little 33 to 35 move, our First Majestic is going to run. Remember where we are. This is the kind of stock to run on silver squeezes. And a close above 33 equals, silver squeeze terminology. So this looks good. Support remains 5.2 in case there's any sort of disappointment. 5.2 should hold. After that, we're down here. No point of talking about that for now. For now, it's 620, 680. Looks good. Fortuna had good news. This is now relevant. Nice pop the last 2 days. So yeah, and basically resistance was 5. I I didn't know, but I thought 4.8 maybe, but especially with news, boom, straight through 5, good. Let's close above 5. Next one is up here, 5.5, maybe even 5.4 actually. I feel like saying 5.4, but in case you're really desperate to sell, then maybe 5.39 is a good sell. But yeah, if we have a move up in the miners and the metals, close above 5, then 5.4/5.5, and then we'll see finally, especially with the good news behind us, we have an excuse to venture into this gap fill zone. And then we look good, you know. If we can start testing 5.5, which could be done very early next week, next stop is an area we haven't been in months. And then we could, wow, it could get really exciting. Fortuna looks really good, especially now. Next one, CDE. Yeah, not as strong anymore because of the massive drop. It's had a decent bounce. It doesn't look like much, but it's had a nice bounce from the lows. Yeah, like almost 20%. It was an okay candle today, you know, better close than yesterday. Did go higher at some point. If silver runs, next stop is going to be 6. So we've hit the 5.5 clearly. Next stop is really going to be 6. But to be going above 6 to the next level, that's going to take a silver squeeze, I think. I mean, yeah, you can get to 6 quite easily on a good day in silver or the miners. You could even be trading a bit above that. But to go all the way back to 7, it's with the I don't know, that's gonna take a silver squeeze, I think. And that's gonna be a sell zone, even if there's a silver squeeze and you get all excited, like, oh, we're gonna go to 9. I would be selling a decent amount just before 7 and just after 7 because it's too much. We even lost this support zone. Look at this, we've been trading there the whole time. We lose that. That's why this is resistance. That's why I've already trimmed a little bit here. And I like to do this. I like to buy a lot on the way down and sell on the way up. Sell what I bought, of course, all for profit. So 6, 680, 7, 720, etc. Let's see what happens next week. But a test of 6 is definitely doable. We just need silver and the miners. So that's CDE Heckler. This one's okay. I guess this is like a small support zone. That's your resistance. So 5.6 is resistance. Support is around 5.3. Very weak support. Otherwise, the absolute support down here, basically $5, 4.9. Next resistance, and this is also very weak. I would say from 5.6 to 5.8, 20 cents. $6, I don't really think will be resistance, even though it's a big round number. I think it's just the old high. And to be honest, if we start moving up here, 5.8, there's probably something going on, and it's probably a bigger move coming. So maybe 6.4 is going to be a resistance at that point. Mm, yeah, it's okay. It's not weak, but it's not strong. But again, this is one where if silver starts to move, this is very sensitive stuff. So it just gets picked up and grabbed and thrown up. So that's why the miners and the silver price are very important. But like I said, when I covered at the beginning, they look very good actually. EXK, decent, didn't come down much, has already made a decent bounce, a little bit higher, and we start testing what I think is resistance around 4.2. We almost closed above 4 today, but I don't think that matters much. 4.2, 4.4, 4.6. They do like their 20-cent increments, these silver stocks. Then you got your gap fill, 4.8, of course. Then 5 is 20 cents. This thing works in 20 cents increments. So let's see. But next stop, really a close above 4.2 would make it the best close in months. And that is very doable even straight away on Monday. So another one to possibly be excited about. I mean, it hasn't moved much up or down in the last couple of months, but think about a move to 4.2. We start to run. We could have the excuse to make a big move like this. And this one is very sensitive to the silver price, maybe more so than the others, all the others, at least the ones that I cover. Like EXK, CDE, very sensitive. First Majestic, Heckler, in fact, all the ones I cover, which is kind of why I'm in them. Mag Silver, not as sensitive, but it's a more of a senior stock. To be honest, it hasn't come down too much and it's held up quite well, but a bit weak compared to some of the others. You know, today where we were testing the lows of the last couple of days. Some of the others are like up here. You know, it should be above 16 to reflect the same sort of relative movement that the other silver stocks did. So, bit weak. I still think we have a nice day in miners. Silver, we go up straight away above 16. And if there's any follow through, we're back above 17. But bit weak, but I have no problem holding it. I don't think there's any problem with mag. It's done pretty well, but still cognizant of the weakness there. Next one, Aris Mining. That's done okay. So I'm going to add a little level. I think it's proved that 4.10 is a level for some reason. I didn't see that before. And this one, a bit like Franco Nevada, is getting a bit of a. It may encounter soon an important descending resistance. So if we can close above, well, I think 4.2, right? So I didn't realize that 4.1 would be resistance. It looks like it is. But if we take out 4.1, if there's a move up in the minors, 4.2 should be a bit of a ceiling bumping moment. Like you're hitting your head on the ceiling of 4.2, and then bam, as soon as you close above 4.3, let's say, then it's obvious that you're clear, and there's no real resistance for me until 4.9-ish, just before 5. So keeping an eye on this one, no problem holding this one. It's always one of the weakest, lightest holdings I have, so I never really care too much. But a move from down here, 4 to 5, is a pretty big move, and then the value can be quite decent. So I'll be trimming. I am gold. That's interesting. Weak, I would say. A bit weak. Again, look, where did we test? We were testing the lows. So it should be higher if it was going to copy some of the others. And it's worth a bit for me, so that's a bit annoying actually. Resistance also around 5.7. You can see it's had a hard time closing above that. So a bit weak. However, the miners, gold, silver, if they run and they look okay, that will help I am gold. And by then, I am gold's chart will look much better. A close of above 5.7, especially 5.8, but 5.7, and you should be testing 6. You know what? I'm going to delete 5.8. I think if you close above 5.7, you're not just going to hit 5.8 and go back down. You're probably going to run to 6. So I'm going to say that 5.7 and 6 resistance. Support, well, it looks like 5.4 is support, but it's really 5.3 because it could easily, if there's a down day on Monday, it's going to go straight through Friday's low. But I think this zone here, 5.25, is going to be the zone it bounces from. So that's your support and resistance. A bit weak, a bit like mag actually. Let's just go back to mag. A bit like mag. All right, B2 gold. I don't really understand that close. Let's just check the 15-minute. Yeah, okay, whatever. It just had a little weakness at the end. Resistance is clearly 2.8. Support, yeah, okay, 2.6, maybe also 2.65. I'm holding that. I thought it was quite strong compared to a lot of the others the last couple of weeks, but that candle was a bit annoying actually. It ruined it. If it closed like high 2.7s, I would say, yeah, still outperforming, still looks good. But anyway, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's just see what happens. I think if gold goes up, B2 gold has to go up. And I think that the worst is behind it. So you're not going to sell now. And I wouldn't even be selling in the low threes. So I'm just holding this. Let's see what happens. It could have just been a strange close, but I'm happy to hold it. Equinox. See, that's the kind of close I expected on B2 gold. That's good. Local resistance 6.7. It was a very good close. It's had its little bounce from its news and its merger. I mean, it's had its drop, sell the news kind of thing. I think that we go back up 7.2, especially if gold breaks out or the miners break out. So those are your three levels: the support 6.2, the immediate resistance which is going to be defeated at 6.7, and the old high at 7.2. And after that, we just run. And I think Equinox is going to make a nice move to 9, not too long. So looks very good. SSRM, I'm still covering that one, even though I don't own it. Resistance at 10.5, right? Look at that, how many times. I wouldn't be looking to sell at 11 anymore. I'd say, well, yeah, if gold and silver go up, it's going to be, I think it's going to go up, gold and silver, but it's now going to face a lot more resistance because it's made a huge move. Yes, it'll go up, but it'll be like the other stocks are up like 4 or 5%. This one will be up 2. If you start to see that, I think you gotta start selling because as soon as the miners turn down, it's gonna drop. I have a feeling it's one of those. So I mean, I've already sold everything at 9.5, but it was nice, nice move at least to test 11, come back down, support 9.5, which was resistance before. You have lots of levels. I think that's the one good thing. Lots of levels in case it drops and you want to buy back. So support 9.5, after that 9. After that, watch out, you probably lost ascending. So 8.3, don't buy back too quickly if you start losing 9, etc., etc. On the way up, yeah, 10.5, 11, 12, 12.5. I think that's pretty clear. I've gone through those before. SBSW has made a really nice bounce actually from this fake flush here at low threes. And then this is a pretty big move actually, now that I think about it. It's like 30% in almost a week. And now we're hitting resistance, I reckon, right? The descending. So just before 4, basically where it is now. But let's see if you can close above 4. Yeah, okay, 410. Close above 410, you could really have something. It's like clearly confirmed that it's not breaking down. I mean, it's a bit late to say that, but 4.10, it's gonna, I mean, look, the descending 4.10, 4.30, and then your next stop is 5.20. So, and zoom out of this one, know where you are. Beautiful. A lot of potential on this one, but I don't have too much in it. Although now it's worth a lot more than it was down there. It's worth 30% more now, but I don't put too much in this one because it's just crazy. All right, that will do. I'm pretty excited with a lot of these. Some of them are a bit weaker. Metalla, Mag, I am Gold, but Metalla is really a sore thumb. But the others really look ready to just run. Some of them to new highs, these seniors like Wheaton, Agnico, Pan America, new 52-week highs. Some of them new all-time highs. And some of the other ones look ready to make big moves. First Majestic, Fortuna. Um, yeah, I've gone through all of them, haven't I? So lots of money to be made. We just need that little push, and I think we've got everything ready. The miners and silver and gold all look ready to make a big move. It's just about what does a market drop do? I think the market goes up from here anyway, which is also why I'm quite excited, but you never know. And I don't think a market up move will ruin gold or the miners. I think gold might be just subdued a little bit, but miners will go up with the market. So I think we're very good, and I'm looking forward to it.